Good afternoon and welcome everybody to the Conway Arena in Nashua, New Hampshire. John Collins along with Tom King. We are ringside for the championship game of the 5th annual Conway Arena Holiday Hockey Tournament. Tom, it's a couple of teams that definitely earned their way in here, Goffstown and Nashua South. And I can tell you, warming up, watching these two teams, we talked about it being early in the year for basketball and some of the rust that we saw over at Nashua High School in the basketball gymnasium. I'm seeing some sharp shooting here in the warm-ups, and the intensity level's definitely there, but I think the skill level's catching up.
Yeah, I don't think there's as much rust in hockey as there is in basketball at this point in the year. And these tournament games really help. Don't forget, these guys, this is their 3rd game in 4 or 5 days that they're playing. That's a lot of hockey. They usually are used to only playing twice a week. And in fact, South has got to come back and play North in 3 days in a game that counts. So, but I'll tell you what, it's good to see a national team make the finals of this tournament. And it hadn't happened before until now.
We're underway. It's Goffstown against Nashua South. The Purple Panthers clearly the purple team, and of course the Grizzlies are in white and maroon. Both teams earning their way here in a 4-day tournament. Icing called against Nashua, our first whistle of the game. They played, as Tom pointed out off air before the game, 3 games each in the 4 days. So they're warmed up and they're ready to go in game number 4 here.
They're warmed up, and I guess so are we. It's not quite as chilly up here as it was yesterday.
If you watched our 2 games yesterday, this is being seen in tape delay, so yesterday's relative, but
right.
It was a couple of exciting games.
During the semifinal day, a couple of great games went down to the wire, 2-2 tie, and also with the North and Goffstown. And Goffstown's here because of what I had said during that previous broadcast, the goal differential. They had beaten Hollis Brookline by 5 goals, so they had a 5-goal differential in the tournament, this being the 3rd game of these teams play. Look at this.
Lexi Ossinger, Tom, who was the star of the semifinal offensively for Nashua South, just led that rush. He's number 19 in purple. Keep an eye on him. It'll be next to impossible to keep him off the scoreboard, I think, especially if it's a South victory.
But watch the fatigue factor, John, that we talked about. I think Goffstown got a little tired in their game. In the semifinal game against what amounted to be a semifinal game with North. And I would imagine both teams by midway through the 2nd period are going to be, their legs are going to be a little tired because of playing so much hockey in 2 days. They're not used to playing back-to-back days like this.
Mike O'Connell dumps it into the zone. The Grizzlies trying to work their way out. Some talented players on both of these teams can score from just about anywhere on the ice. So you have to keep your eyes peeled here on Nashua's ETV not to miss any exciting end-to-end sharp shooting action. We have a whistle just inside the Grizzlies' blue line with a break in the action here. 13:32 to go in the 1st period. We're just underway in the championship game of the 5th annual Conway Arena Hockey Tournament.
I think, John, if you're looking at South, the line to watch, obviously, is that line with Mike O'Connell and Andrew Kyriakakos and Lexi Ossinger produced most of the offense yesterday for this team, or in the semifinals for this team, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen again.
And we welcome our Goffstown cable fans as well. Unusual, we'll be farming this broadcast out to Goffstown, and so it'll be a keeper for them definitely if they go on to win the championship. But it's anybody's game here. Nashua South proud to be showing up in the final for the first time.
No doubt about it. Goffstown had some great play in the semifinals by the Horn line and Brad York, players like that. They really carried them in that round, and then they just ran into a wall in the midway through the 2nd period and held on for that tie.
Tom, the Goffstown fans behind us thought it was in, and I don't blame them because this angle, it looked like it might have been behind David Saucier.
But Saucier
he was looking for it
and looked behind him and is able to make that save.
Well, the best chance of the game thus far clearly for Goffstown right there. Penetration and a chance on David Saucier, who split the goaltending duties with Cameron Anzel in the semifinal very effectively. Nashua's Mike O'Connell will handle the puck a lot this evening. Throws it down into the Grizzly zone. Bank shot right on net. And there's Cam Myatt.
Myatt was solid for the first couple of periods in goal. The only player he couldn't solve is Kevin McGowan in Nashua North.
Yeah, McGowan definitely was a force for North, and they just came up 1 goal short, of course, in that overtime frame. They needed 1 more to get into the final and make it an all-Nashua final. But Goffstown, the defending tournament champions, bearing down now. His blast went wide of the post, and if Riley Palmer, who's got a tremendous booming shot, got that on goal on target, it was in, Tom.
Well, if I'm Goffstown, I shoot high on Saucier because he's taller than the net, obviously, but he's still not that tall, not as tall as some other goaltenders that we've seen. And he comes out and tries to cut the angle down, but that leaves a lot of room behind in the upper far corner on the glove side. If I'm Goffstown, I shoot high on him.
That's exactly where Palmer was shooting as Nashua gets called for icing. He had lined it up, and if he had hit that upper corner, David would have had no chance, but it's one thing to see it, another thing to hit that target. Kind of like the targets they set up in the NHL All-Star Skills Contest. It's loose in front. Backhander shoveled, now a forehand try by number 7, Robert Horn. It seemed like every forward on the ice for the Grizzlies had a shot at it, but they couldn't get it past Saucier.
Well, Goffstown did something that they weren't able to do numerous times late in the semifinal game, was they were able to get a shot right off the faceoff.
Palmer goes for the quick shot instead of going for that booming slap shot that he possesses, and it nearly trickled through. Keeping it in the zone is number 2, Ryan Zarnowski. Actually, that's not Zarnowski. It is a wrinkled uniform. I thought it was 8.
This is the York line. This is the line that's in a groove right now. It wasn't a groove yet in the semis for Goffstown. So watch this line. This is the line that Nashua will have the most trouble with.
Good check there by Holler, and number 6 momentarily knocked the Grizzly forward off the puck, but they get it right back. Spin move there by Horn. Not able to maintain possession, however. Breaking out is Nashua's Eric Hurst down the left boards. He throws it into the zone. It is not icing. The Grizzlies' Riley Palmer goes back for it, a hard skater and a hard shooter to boot.
Yeah, Palmer, Bork, and Horn, tough skaters.
Down the right side they come. That's
watch out, trailer.
In front it goes, and it's frozen. Smartly so by Saucier as they exchange elbows and forearms in front of the goalie.
Saucier is under siege, and right now South is seeing a little bit more offensive assault on them than they did maybe in the semis, and I would imagine in the first round of the tournament too when they played St. Peter Marion.
That's Brian Bork, number 9, who led the rush, and now he helps in the try on Saucier. Trying to bat that puck out of the air was Andrew Gordon. If he had been successful in playing a little tennis there, he would have got a goal, but it goes by the net, and now it's fought for behind the cage. Frankie Guarino had it taken away from him and almost got stuffed behind Saucier, but finally gets back to the neutral zone. Grizzlies putting the pressure on Nashua South here early. We're just underway. 4 minutes in, actually, and it's no score in the first period of the championship game of the Conway Arena Hockey Tournament. Goffstown against Nashua South.
No score, but Goffstown definitely carrying the play in the Nashua South zone. It's been down here almost perpetually.
We have all 5 Nashua players almost going back to help out to try to get this out of the zone, and so far unsuccessful because of the fierce forechecking by Andrew Gordon, who's got the puck right now. Shot, score!
Yep.
Brian Bork was loose in the right slot. He got the perfect feed from Gordon, and it's the first goal of the game. Goes the Grizzlies' way. The relentless pressure finally yielded a pretty tic-tac goal there.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time, John, with the pressure that they were putting on. And Bork was right there. Gordon skating to the side and slips it in front. And there's no way Saucier could cover all that ground.
A great hockey name, Brian Bork. He spells Brian with a Y and Bork with a Q-U-E, like you know who. And he's on the board first for the Grizzlies. 1-0. Nashua trying to answer back right away here as they throw the puck down in the Grizzly zone and try to apply some pressure. Ricochet comes out. It's loose puck to neutral zone. Skating hard is Palmer. Look out for him down the right boards. He gets a forehand shot away wide of the goal. Long rebound out to the right boards. Dug for there by Lexi Ossinger, number 19 among others for Nashua. Can't corral it. Palmer fans on the shot. It would have been a great try. Also fanning on the shot was Kyle Wilson, number 11, but he goes deep with it. Wilson throws it out front. Going to the ice is Mason Blauen. Shot might have been a save there by Saucier, or else it hit the post, and the sound of it hit his pad. So nice save, David Saucier. Relentless pressure being put on by yet another line here for the Grizzlies. Mike O'Connell throws it behind the goal. Losing his footing there was Holleran for a moment, and he's going to lob it to center. Was he onside? Yes, he was.
Couldn't control the puck,
icing.
though.
Big collision back there. Kiriakakos down deep. He's going to throw it around the boards. With it is Peter Gill. He had a goal in the semifinal. He's blocked on the shot from the point.
And Christian Flavin just missed a rebound. It came right out. He would have had a nice one-time shot on Myatt.
O'Connell throws it down. That's no icing. 8:40 to go, first period.
Puck just got beyond him.
Grizzlies with it. This game pace is really picked up here. With the puck.
They can't keep this pace up, John, not with 2 games in 2 days.
Devin Brackett checked off the puck as he threw it. It ended up at the backboard and a quick breakout by the Grizzlies. Down the left boards. Draw pass, shot wide of the goal there by Connor House-Myers. David Saucier, the goaltender, looked like he had a good beat on that. Puck carrier's broken up, but a shot blocked there by number 2, Ryan Zarnowski, and the Panthers get it back to center ice. Delayed offside will be waved off. As circling out of the zone was Brian Yost. With the puck, fire boards, Robert Horn is double-checked. And the puck is still loose in the corner. Horn's going to throw it behind the cage. And the first one to it is Brian Yost. Maybe a bad decision there by Zach Catarino to lay off and let the puck come to him and never got to him. The Grizzlies trying to get it out in front of the cage to do some more damage. It's all the way to Palmer, who's broken up, but he throws it towards the net before it could be poked to center. Playing it softly around the cage, Brian Yost is going to find his teammate, Connor House-Myers. Double check. Myers loses one of his gloves, comes back to Zarnowski, throws it behind the net. Playing with the one glove is Myers.
Garino, a nice job.
Throws it at the net and freezing the puck. Finally is Saucier.
Garino, a nice job to break up the pass, and then he goes in and kind of pokes a little playful poke, or maybe not so playful, at one of the Grizzlies.
That shift had me counting the players
Horn
on the ice, Tom, to see if there was a man disadvantage.
I'll tell you, it's been a tough start for South.
Grizzlies all over the net again. The deflected shot, score!
Deflected off his skate and rolled in. It just rolled.
Andrew Gordon's going to get credit for the goal. It went off, I believe, in Nashua's stick.
I think it did.
So Gordon assisted on the first one. He scores the second. 2-0, the Grizzlies lead. It's 7:04 to go in the first period. A big start for the Grizzlies. A fast start, 2-0. Both goals were hard-earned, but Nashua South definitely in trouble here early. Save made, big rebound off Saucier's pads, and the Grizzlies are not satisfied with 2. In front of the goal it goes.
They give Bork the assist on that goal, so just reverse what we saw a few minutes earlier.
Grizzlies back to the point. Throwing it in is Andrachuk, number 22, all the way around the boards. Picking it up is Naughton, playing keep away down there in the right boards. Ending up with it is Brian Bork, who has that first goal and an assist, as Tom said.
But you know,
it's shot and it's deflected. It looked like it was going to head in from this angle.
Didn't
Another
it?
block. I think we can give credit to Peter Gill for getting a shin pad on that shot. And finally dumping into the Grizzlies zone behind the lonely goaltender, Myatt. Only briefly.
Just a tenacious forecheck by the Grizzlies. The shots are 9-1 in favor of Goffstown.
To center ice it goes by Holleran. Ends up in the Grizzlies zone, but just enough time for them to wind it up and start again. Cross ice pass.
Well, you're right, John. Just wind it up and keep going. That's what they're doing.
Palmer almost got a break going there. Now it's on a Nashua stick and trying to get his team going. Travis Merritt, number 5 for Nashua, is going to try to keep it in. He can't. Here come 2-on-1 if they can convert it. No, good job right there on defense by Nashua South's number 16, Devin Brackett. Puck goes all the way down the boards and around behind Myatt. With it is O'Connell. He loses possession, however. Stealing it back, Nashua for the moment, keeping it in. It's a legitimate onside play.
No, it's not.
No?
It's offsides. No,
the puck was right on the blue.
Raised hands, and they
What's
the
the rule
on
that? You know, on the goal line, when you're scoring a touchdown, you just have to touch a little bit of the puck.
The player was
ball
already in the zone.
I didn't think it ever came out.
Yeah, I thought it did. I didn't disagree with the call. I watched the official to see if he was going to raise it.
So it's an offside, and it's a face-off just outside the zone.
Not only are the Panthers having trouble sustaining the pressure that Goffstown is putting on, they just can't get any forecheck of their own. It's 1-on-3. They need to have some some more sustained forechecks here to get their best defense now has got to be their offense. They are just not going to be able to allow Goffstown. They can't allow Goffstown to maneuver the way they have in the zone. Otherwise, we're going to be in running time territory by the third period, the way this is going.
You know, I think that was a smart move right there by Saucier to tie it up. That's the tactic that we saw the North goaltender Thorpe do.
Right, but he tied it up to prevent any rebounds and prevent a lot of, prevent Goffstown from getting into any kind of a rhythm. The only thing it did was here comes O'Connell now in a rush.
Mike O'Connell throws it toward the net. The rebound comes out. A feed in front to Ossinger. He fans on it. Now he gets a forehand, but he throws it to the backboard. O'Connell's going to try again. O'Connell's out in front now. That was Kiriakakos trying the centering pass. Lexi Ossinger using the body to shield the puck. Has a chance. Shot saved. Glove side. Nicely done by Cam Myatt. That puck was labeled, but the Grizzlies goaltender right there.
Well, that top line for South finally gets untracked and did the job and put some pressure on. That's what they need. They need more of it. Ossinger hadn't fanned. He had a goal.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question
earlier in
about
that flurry, yeah.
Yeah. But it's tough. The puck was rolling around. It was tough to get a handle on it.
Matt D'Angelo gambling at the point.
Oh, look at that, huh?
And somehow it doesn't end up in the net.
It went wide. It trickled wide.
Puck fought for behind the net in the corner now, trying to come out of there. Here's Travis Merritt, number 5 for Nashua. Skates it out smartly. Gets hooked to his feet. And it's going to get called on it. That's a hook.
Nashua is having the problem.
There's the whistle.
No,
that was just onside. I thought it was a delayed call.
Nashua is having the problem that we saw North have in the early going of their game against Goffstown. They had trouble skating the puck out of their own end.
So that was just a delayed offside, Tom.
Look at that. Off the stick, and then it goes back towards Saucier. He has to steer it aside.
Trying to stuff it in. That was Patrick Naughton. Big shot is blocked at the point by Merritt. It goes to the right corner. Coming out, Naughton's trying to slide it out to his teammate. Gordon shot wide of the cage, or maybe it was deflected by Merritt.
It was deflected. Nice job, though. Saucier saw it all the way.
Round behind the net. Here's Gordon again, trying the centering pass to nobody in particular. Off the stick of Matt D'Angelo and just hacking it to center was Ethan Winkler, number 2 now with the puck. Just a exercise in frustration for Nashua to get the puck out of their own zone. Trickles over the stick of Palmer, but Myatt is right there. Palmer circles behind the cage, bothered by O'Connell all the way around the boards. O'Connell's going to come and circle and get the possession, trying to beat 3 players. He's broken up. Palmer throws it up, and now pinching in with the puck. Nashua's defense playing tight at the point. That was Ossinger actually on the left wing. Rush put on here by Connor House-Myers, went wide and fired it. Nice blocker and glove save by Saucier. 2:39 to go in the first period, a 2-0 lead for the Goffstown Grizzlies in this championship game of the 5th annual Conway Arena Hockey Tournament.
Well, the other component of that line that we talked about is Eric Hurst. He got the assist yesterday in the game winner. He had a chance down on the other side to try to do something with the puck. But again, it's 1-on-3.
Number 18 for Nashua. He's in on this skirmish here to get the puck out of the zone, and they do. Circling back, nearly broken up by O'Connell. Here's Ossinger with O'Connell behind him. Drops it to O'Connell, gets lost in his skates. Comes free to Kiriakakos, blast, and again, an easy glove save made by Myatt. That apparently is not the place to beat him, Tom.
But a good opportunity for Kiriakakos as he fired that in. But Myatt, it is a good place to beat him if the goaltender can't see the puck. But that time Myatt saw it all the way.
Like a long throw from third base. He had no problem gloving that one. Knocked down at the blue line is Garino, and a breakout for the Grizzlies. Trickling off the end of their sticks, however, and Ossinger's going to bat this one ahead to Guarino, making that defenseman rush, and he gets hauled down. He's going to get the call. Andrechuk's going to go out as one defenseman pulled down his counterpart and got called for it.
And now South has a break, and let's see if they can capitalize on it. 1:55 to play in the first period. It's a 2-0 game in favor of Goffstown.
We've seen this theme repeated in the tournament in the games we've called. One team jumps out to a 2-0 lead. The other team, trailing 2-0, gets a power play and converts on it to cut the lead in half.
But you got to admit, this is the most dominant 2-0 lead we've seen in this tournament.
It is. Exactly.
Goffstown has really controlled things.
This is a case where the score is not as close as it indicates. 2-0.
No.
The game's not as close as the score indicates. Well, Goffstown fans critical of the energy that their team's showing.
What are they watching?
Shot deflected wide. Cross ice pass. Kiriakakos pinching in, can't get it. It's batted away by
Better
Naughton.
watch out.
2 forecheckers right behind O'Connell. That could be called, and it wasn't.
Called. No, very lucky on York. Or was it York? No. Yes. No, it was Bork.
Brian Bork pulled down O'Connell.
Yeah, very lucky that Bork did not get the call. York is number 10.
Right in front of the official. He
Bork
elected to let it go.
Yep.
Grizzlies get a line change. Kiriakakos to O'Connell, shoots it, deflected off the glass. Corralling it over there is Peter Gill. He's broken up.
The puck.
It's a breakaway here. In alone is Gordon. Shifts, shoots, and it's deflected wide. Great save, Saucier. He took the puck carrier wide to the left and made the save.
Goffstown, Stone on a shorthanded breakaway.
Mike O'Connell skates it up, throws it across ice, intended for Frankie Garino. Not icing, off the glass. That was labeled for Tom King if it didn't catch the last 2 inches of the glass.
That is the net, don't forget.
I know, but it looked like it was going to squeak through somehow. I mean, that was the old days, I guess, when there's no netting. It was danger.
Oh, watch this. Another turnover.
A steal again for the Grizzlies down low, trying to work his way out in front is Connor House-Myers. He's taken down by Hurst.
Not the power play that South needed.
Look at him jump around the defender. Connor House-Myers creating havoc. Puck right out in front, but right there's Peter Gill to skate it away for Nashua.
This is their last
4 seconds
rush.
to go in the period. Gill's just going to shovel it in to the corner. The buzzer sounds, and maybe a relieved Nashua team that they don't give up a short-handed goal on top of the 2-0 deficit as we go into the intermission.
Well, just a tough period for Nashua South, and a great job by Goffstown, who played. They had less rest than South did because they played the last game of the day in the semis, come right back the next day, and here they are. You know, at least they get a little bit of a full day to rest before they take the ice. But still, the way they came out was the way they had to come out. You're basically playing in the other team's rink, even though it's a tournament, and come right out and take it to them. And that's what they did. Put sustained pressure. South was never able to get that O'Connell line untracked. In fact, they double shifted that line a lot to try to get something going. Fatigue is going to be a factor in this game, John.
Yeah.
Somebody's legs are going to be so tired, they're not going to be able to keep up as this game goes on.
Well, you mentioned the 16 players on Goffstown's side, so maybe South's best hope is the second and third period still to come. That's Tom King. I'm John Collins. You're watching the Conway Arena Holiday Hockey Tournament, the 5th annual. The score after 1 period of play in the championship game, Goffstown 2, Nashua South 0. Come back with us for more exciting high school hockey action on Nashua's ETV.
Every year, thousands of law enforcement officers are injured or killed by passing vehicles on our nation's roads and highways. These tragedies don't have to happen. Whenever an emergency vehicle has its lights on, move over away from the emergency vehicle. If you can't change lanes because of traffic, or if you're traveling on a 2-lane road, slow down at least 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit.
Help protect the officers who protect you. Please move over, and if you can't, then slow down. It's the law.
Welcome back, everybody, for the second period of this championship game between Nashua South and Goffstown. Nashua South will be shooting to our left in this second period of play. Grizzlies of Goffstown leading this 2-0 as they try to defend their tournament title from last year.
And as the power play is up for Nashua, they had 5 seconds on the power play coming into this period. Goffstown comes out, and we'll see if Goffstown can keep up that pressure that they had in the first period, as the shots on goal in that period were a whopping 11-4 in favor of Goffstown.
A try there for Brian Bork, flying down the left wing. Deflects out in front, and Nashua now off to the races. Kiriakakos throws it in on goal. It's a save made there by Cam Myatt, number 1, who's handled all the goaltending for the Grizzlies in this tournament. Meanwhile, in Nashua's goal, we have, again, David Saucier. Cameron Ansel splits the duties with him. Fanning on the puck right there. Ethan Winkler gives up a chance, and now it's a breakout for Andrew Gordon and Riley Palmer. We're 2-on-1 for a moment, but the long pass eluded Gordon. Shot from the point. Through a traffic, Ryan Zarnowski gets it on goal. Trying to come out of there with it is Gordon. Instead, Nashua South comes out of there. With it is Mike O'Connell. Trying to use the body to backhand the puck in on Myatt. Can't get it by him, of course, on the short side. Not enough of a chance. Grizzlies break it back out. Down the left wing they come. Might have been a trip there, and yes it is. It's going to be a 2-minute penalty against Nashua when they do touch the puck in the back of the net. A good rush put on there. I believe that was Robert Horn, number 7, that was flying down the left wing and was tripped up.
Pick a Goffstown player. They've all been flying down the left wing most of this game. It's been incredible, and they come right back and sustain the pressure, and Peter Gill, again, a little bit behind the play and has no choice but to try to get his stick out in defense, and ends up getting the skate. And a Grizzly goes down, and Gill goes to the box, and it's another 2-minute man advantage for Goffstown. They're second of the game.
Riley Palmer with it. He's got a big shot if he gets it away. Look out. Number 6 for Goffstown. Throws it down into the corner over the stick of the intended Bork, and it ends up on Gordon's stick. Playing a little catch behind the goal. Now with Bork. Back to Palmer, trying to line himself up. Wrist shot. Saved by Saucer, and he gets plowed into by Gordon. Might have been checked into the goaltender. Definitely a size mismatch there. And good thing to see David getting up and stretching himself out. He appears to be okay.
In the semifinals, Dan Belleville, the South coach, split the duties right down the middle between Ken Amzel and David Saucier. I imagine he's going to do that again today. We speculated in between periods. We wondered if Saucier would come out or they'd give Amzel the full 2 periods. And I think he's going to stick with his plan and go and split it right down the middle.
Which would be the 10-minute mark of this period.
Well, not really. It would probably be like the 7.
Oh, the 7.5.
Yeah,
it's not a 20-minute period.
Right.
It's a 15-minute
But we'll
period.
see if he does that or not. He might want, depending on Saucier. And I think he said he'd go by feel today. And if Saucier is hot, if one of the goaltenders was hot, he would possibly stay with him. But Saucier is under siege so much, you wonder, with Goffstown putting so much pressure on, is it fair to Ansel that he comes in cold?
Right.
And has to play.
And he'll be immediately under fire.
Right, exactly.
Back to Palmer at the point.
Already,
gives it up down low to Gordon. Cross ice. Bork shot. Save. Made. A solid one by Saucier.
Already that's the 4th save by Saucier in this period.
That was Robert Horn, number 7, with that shot.
He's got 15 saves. He's got 13 saves on the game.
Garino makes the poke check. 45 seconds to go on this power play for the Grizzlies. They've had several chances.
Goffstown's hot, but we're not as cold today either.
No, Horn throws it in front. Shot by Naughton goes wide.
He had an open side, and he missed it.
If he was on target, it would have been 3-0.
31 seconds left in the power play.
Puck out of the zone. And I think back what you said in the dominant first period by Goffstown, Tom, what you said yesterday about a dominant 3-0 lead, that would really be a deep hole.
They weren't able to get that yesterday, and they were lucky to be in the finals today because of the way they played against Hollis Brookline in the opener of the opening game, in their opening game of the tournament.
Gordon, a clear-cut shot on Saucier, but he makes a solid directional save to the corner and throws it down ice.
One thing that South is doing better in this period, even with a man down, as that power play is over, is they are eliminating the rebound factor in front of Saucier.
Here comes Palmer. A hard snapshot over the net, and then he fans on his own rebound, and Nashua gets it out of the zone. Some neutral zone play. Look at Robert Horn right back in for the pressure. He loses it, though. It's right on the blue line. Nashua's going to get it out. Hard check thrown by Naughton on O'Connell. Pierakakis is up ahead of the field. Throws it across ice. Can't connect with Gill. And smartly playing it off the boards and getting his own rebound on a 3-on-2 breakout. But he ends up trickling it in on the goaltender. That was Connor House-Myers, and credit the defense for getting a stick on him.
It was wide, too. It basically was just deflected off to the side, a slow roller for Saucier. But right now, Nashua having the same problem that they had in the first period, getting the puck out of the zone. Someone to carry the puck out of the zone and start an offensive rush. They haven't been able to get much of that in this hockey game.
2-0 is the score. 10:45 to go in the second period. Nashua trails. Icing against Nashua South. You know, they haven't had a lot of icing calls against Nashua. You know, I would say that's because they hadn't had the puck on their stick long enough to be able to launch one.
That's just it. I mean, they're trying to avoid that and trying to carry the puck out themselves. And
yeah.
Goffstown with great forecheck. That's why not much icing. Goffstown has done a great job on the forecheck.
They're just on top of every puck carrier for Nashua South.
But as we saw in the semis, they got frustrated after a while because it wasn't it didn't transform into that third goal.
Travis Merritt has a chance here for a 2-on-1, trying to hit Hurst ahead of the field. He'll hold on to it. Nice shot on goal. Hurst tries to follow up. It goes diving, falling to the right, throws it behind the net.
Great shot on goal. It's too bad that follow couldn't go through.
Backhander up the boards by James Holler and is able to clear it back into the Grizzlies zone.
I thought the speed of Andrechuk was going to disrupt that play, so it's even better that Hurst got that shot off.
Number 22 for Grizzlies. Getting back on defense, as Tom said. Throwing it up to Hurst, and he gets it out of the zone. It's going to squirt cross ice. It could be icing. No, it's not. It's waved off. First back to get it is Ryan DeSantis. He plays it ahead. Riley Palmer has it go over his stick. Trying to keep it in the zone is Kyle Wilson. He does, only momentarily. Guarino now rushing it out for Nashua. Avoids a heavy hit by Palmer, and the puck fought for along the far boards. Mason Blowen coming out with it. Skating down the right side. Oh, that's going to be a heavy hit that's going to be called against Mike O'Connell. The puck goes in the net, however, and that goal's going to count. It was a delayed call, and I believe that penalty is going to go against Nashua, and it's going to be a 3-0 game.
A double whammy for the Panthers as O'Connell slams his stick down. They lose one of their best players, and they also give up a goal if it is indeed going to count.
It won't.
They wave it off? No, they won't. They wave it off.
Why is that? It's a 2-minute penalty, however.
Because somebody from Nashua must have touched the puck en route to the net.
Oh, how about that? Well, it saves me the embarrassment of not knowing who put that puck in, because it was...
It's tough to tell sometimes when it was a flurry like that in front.
I was busy watching the Grizzly player get up.
But if Saucier got his stick on it, which I think he did originally, then that would mark the delayed call. So the double whammy is off, but the double whammy really is on because not only does Nashua have a man down, they're losing one of their best players in O'Connell. They can't really afford to have him off the ice.
Connor House-Myers trying to rush there. He's broken up by Gill. Long shot, solidly gloved by Saucier. Drops it off for Gill. Gill shoots it around the boards and then levels the forechecker for Goffstown, but Palmer ends up with a screen shot. Another nice save in traffic.
Gill is a big screen. He's a big target. He's a big guy, and how Saucier was able to see that puck with Gill in front of him.
I don't know.
Because Gill is a big guy for Nashua South, and one of the biggest players on the ice. Maybe the biggest player on the ice.
Yeah, Palmer just used him as a shield as he moved in there and shot the puck toward the stick
David
side.
Saucier keeping Nashua South in this game because really in this period he's played very well. It could be 5-6-0 by now.
2-0
Goffstown
is
having
the
that
score.
same problem, getting that third goal.
Right. Palmer.
But they're much more tenacious about it right now. They're putting on more of an offensive display than they did in the semifinals.
Bork played it off the boards and out of the zone to Palmer. So not a costly mistake, though, for Goffstown. I mean, it's just a question of how many shots they're getting on Nashua South right now. Palmer winding up and just flying down the ice. He gets a great shot away, and Saucier again makes the save. Point blank.
Not only did Saucier make the save, he had to make a determination. He wasn't going to let him skate all the way in. He came way out of the crease to make that stop.
Like a soccer goal. He almost had to guess which side of the net he was going to shoot at. He had such a good angle. It was straight on. Shot by Palmer. Kiriakakos now gets it out of the zone. It's not icing because it's dead center on the goaltender. Lexi Ossinger is going to be down there to provide a forecheck, but the Grizzlies have no trouble getting the puck back to center ice and back into the Nashua zone off the stick of Andrew Gordon. Around the boards, Ossinger waves at it, can't get it out. Big shot past the net right there by Brad York from the left point. Comes back to Palmer on the right point. Broken up by Hurst and skated out by Guarino. He's trying to hit O'Connell out of the penalty box.
Guarino with a nice interception.
That was a penalty kill right there by Nashua, Tom.
Great penalty kill.
Yeah, you know, why you almost didn't notice it because that's been the type of pressure we've seen all game long.
Goffstown 0 for 2 on the power play in this period.
Right. It almost didn't matter there was 5-on-4. They've been doing that. Here is even strength, and here we go again. Patrick Naughton into the into the zone with the puck.
Well, Dan Beliveau said after the semifinal game, we'll wait until the next whistle, I'll tell you what he said.
Thrown back out in front, Eric Hurst can't get it out of the zone. He's broken up by Zarnowski. Throws it down deep to Brian Yost off his stick. Behind the net, the closest one to that pass was Yost. Overskated it. Nashua trying to get it out of their zone, and they do. Heavy hit laid right there by Ethan Winkler in front of us. He got a great piece of horn and knocked him down. Nashua gets a rush out of it. O'Connell shouldering his way down the right side. He's going to draw a penalty.
Boy, great job by O'Connell to draw the penalty as he's hauled down. You know, I thought he might have a burst of energy because he had sat for 2 minutes and he came out, and look at that.
That's the classic play where the defenseman gets stripped of his stick and glove and he gives the, what are you talking about?
I know it.
Gesture to the referee. He totally did it to me. But that has happened to both teams, I'm sure, and that was to O'Connell's credit.
So the Panthers with their second power play of the game. They were 0 for in the first. 6:17 to play here in the second period. You're watching the finals of the Conway High School Hockey Christmas Tournament. It's Andrechuk with a slash.
Kiriakakos, not enough steam on that pass to get it back to Garino, and the Grizzlies pounce.
And Nashua right back where they've been all game in their own zone.
O'Connell's going to outskate the forechecker on this one. He's got another one outskate, and he loses the puck to Knock.
He had two players open to his left. He should have given up puck up.
Shoulder to shoulder check, stiffly delivered there by Frankie Garino, but Grizzlies will take it. Is playing it back to his defenseman was Brian Bork, and they kill another 10 seconds off of the penalty. It's an icing call, or is it? What was that?
It would be offsides.
Must have been offsides. Yeah, they must have just played some catch, and it was a power play, so they're not about to.
Dan Beliveau said yesterday, or said in the semifinal game, I keep making that mistake, after the win, said the reason we were able to, don't forget, Alvin came back and tied that game with just over 2 minutes left in the game. Beliveau said, we don't give up. So one thing he's liked about his team all in this early part of the season, they do not give up.
And so look for Nashua South.
Now the power play is up as the Panthers draw a penalty. That's what that whistle was for. So now Goffstown be on the man advantage after this brief 4-on-4.
Loose puck. Gordon nearly knocked it in. Saucier couldn't reach it to freeze it. Goes across the goal mouth, and Peter Gill plays it off the boards and out of the zone.
We will go 4-on-4 for 52 seconds.
A lot of open ice right now. 4-on-4 with 5 minutes left in the period, and 1:20 left to go on the power play for the Grizzlies. Shot, goal. Riley Palmer.
And there's the third goal.
Just a hard shot, somewhat caught Cameron Ansel by surprise, Tom, as he's just into the game.
Well, that's just it, John. They switched goaltenders. And, you know, I wonder, with Saucier seeing so much rubber as he did, and he had been doing a good job in this period, much better than the first few minutes of this game.
Is it fair to the...
I don't think it's fair to both goals. I don't think it's fair to Ansel to come in that situation.
That was a nasty shot.
Palmer blisters one right by him. I mean, he comes in without the benefit of a warm-up.
And they almost convert their fourth goal of the game to the Grizzlies. We still have 2 men in the box, by the way.
No, it was a 4-on-4 goal, so it's not a power play goal, but Palmer with the goal, and it's a 3-0 game.
3-0.
Bill Thorpe, our public address announcer, father of David Thorpe, who was the goaltender for North.
North, right. And we may see David again on Saturday. North and South play hockey in their first regular season matchup. Grizzlies on offense. 4.5 minutes to go in the second period, but they enjoy a 3-0 lead.
And they are the defending champions, John. They'll own this tournament now if they keep if this score holds up. 2 straight titles.
Right. Shot save, Cameron Ansel. That's the kind of save you want when you first come into the game. You don't want to see the Palmer shot when you first come into the game. Down ice, and it is going to be no icing, say the officials, of course, because of the penalty 20 seconds left to go on the power play for the Grizzlies. Nashua's going to try to kill this off and regroup. Down 3-0 here in the waning minutes of the second period of the championship game. It's been all Goffstown. Left boards, throwing it up and out of the zone, James Holleran. He found momentarily Lexi Ostinger, but he lost it in his skates. Holleran gets it out of the zone. Shifting his way into the opponent is Casares. That's off the netting, and it's a whistle. 3:26 to go, second period. Is there anything that Coach Beliveau can say to his team between the second and third periods, Tom?
Just don't give up, keep skating, and just
don't give up and keep skating.
Just keep skating.
Well, you got to look at the roster over here. You have a goalie change now for Goffstown. We have first time that Myatt comes out, and they don't give us the goalie names in Goffstown. It's something about, I don't know, they don't put the names on the roster.
Well, we'll have to find out who that is in between periods.
Right now he's number 30 for Goffstown. We apologize for not knowing the name. Puck fought for in the right corner of the Nashua zone to the left of Cameron Anzel. Coming away with it is Connor House-Myers. Shoots it around behind the net. That's Robert Horn with it. Horn's got it, number 7 for Goffstown, circling. Finds his teammate Andrzejczyk out front. Also a chance at it was Brian Yost, number 8. Shot just wide to the left. Connor House-Myers. Around behind the net. All Goffstown pressure here. It's 5-on-5, folks. Doesn't look like that probably on your TV set, but relentless pressure by the Grizzlies on the Panthers.
Heavy like hit. A Goffstown power play for the whole game almost, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
It is Steve Garron, Garron.
3-on-1 here, Tom.
In goal for Goffstown.
Shot, save, Anzel.
Boy, Anzel thrown into the fire here as Goffstown steps the pressure up even more on a 3-on-1.
Wow.
2:14 to play in the second period, 3-0 Goffstown as they look to capture their second straight Conway High School hockey tournament title.
So,
Steve Garron is the new goaltender for Goffstown.
Steve Garron. You know, I'm glad you told me that, but I don't know how much I'll be saying it.
Not much.
I hope a lot in the third period.
If this goes the way it is. I mean, Goffstown doesn't come with a lot of skaters, John, so it's not like they're going to empty the bench. You know, these guys have played, so they're going to keep their pressure up.
Anzel diving across the cage, standing on it, and plowing into his own teammate by accident.
That was Bork. Bork looked like he had an open net, and he missed it.
It just was an on-edge puck, like that one right there, and it almost trickles out of the zone, throwing it in and off the netting.
And I'll tell you where things changed in this period. They changed when O'Connell drew the penalty, and South looked like they could get right back in with a power play goal, and then all of a sudden they end up incurring a penalty during the power play, and it goes to 4-on-4 in Goffstown. And Anzel comes in the game cold, and boom, there's the wind out of any sails that South was able to, any little sliver of momentum that South was able to get, it all disappeared right there.
Lexi Ostinger pushes it ahead to Mike O'Connell. This is Nashua's best hope line here, their first line, if they can get it going. But it's all Grizzlies. Riley Palmer, who's got one of the 3 goals. Fans on the shot. It's played back to the point. Palmer gets it, and Anzel wisely hangs on with Patrick Naughton of Goffstown on his doorstep. All that said, Tom, if somehow Nashua South could get that surprising goal, we've seen them score a surprising goal in this tournament, the 3-2 game winner against Alvern. You know,
just need one
right here.
To get back on the
they
board,
could get this down to a 2-goal game with the fatigue factor possibly playing in with the smaller roster on Goffstown in the third period. They still have hope. It's down ice. It's icing, they call it. Just barely over the line. I know that Riley Palmer can skate faster than that if he wants to.
I know he has already, hasn't he?
He's got jets, but he let that icing call.
Yep. Well, that's just it. You know why?
I know.
Go. Let it go, and and get a face-off back, and let the play develop, and save some energy for that third period.
He's going to call Kyriakakis for a hand pass. I guess closing his glove too much on the puck. There must be some kind of time limit when you do that. You direct it toward you. Your stick.
1 minute to play here, second period. 3-0 Grizzlies.
Shot over the goal. Set up off the faceoff was Robert Horn, number 7.
Ansel got indoctrinated into the game pretty quickly, didn't he?
Yes, he did. This ricochet is going to go by everybody, and the officials ruled that it could have been touched by Goffstown, so no icing. Big shot. All he gets is wood. No puck right there. Was number 12, Matt D'Angelo. Throws it all the way down. Lexi Ossinger, first to touch it. Kyriakakos late to the puck. And Tom, having called the game yesterday, I'm going to say this. I think that Nashua does not have the legs they had yesterday.
No, definitely
all.
not. Not at all. Because don't forget, that game-winning goal was Bork basically not only beating everyone to the puck, but beating the shot to the clock.
Ossinger, yeah.
I mean, Ossinger.
Yeah.
Ossinger had to shoot it
right
and get it off before the time ran out, and he did it with 6.4 seconds to play in the game.
A tremendous effort.
Right, and he just chased after that puck and let it fly. He had to be very wary of the clock, and, you know, I don't know if he could make that same play today.
And, you know, Goffstown had less rest. They played overtime in a 2-2 contest. They played 4 periods, basically.
Right.
I mean, you were talking about how they put 8 minutes on the clock, and they played that overtime almost all the way down. And they didn't play it all the way down. They played an extra 8 minutes.
But an extra 8 minutes.
And it ended 2-2.
So they had 45 minutes of hockey. They had 53 minutes of hockey yesterday.
Yeah, so the question is, when they go into the locker room, are they going to find enough energy to score 3 goals in this third period?
South?
Yeah.
No.
I hope they come out and prove you wrong, Tom King. I hope they prove you wrong. That's why we play the games, though.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will buy you a steak dinner.
No, that would be the end of the world if you bought somebody dinner.
That's right, no
steak
doubt
dinner.
about it. I know it would be the end of the world, wouldn't it? I know it. Because I'll tell you what, South's problem over the last 2 or 3 years, actually 3 or 4 years, has been finding someone consistently to put the puck in the net. They haven't been able to do it. So if they rally from a 3-0 deficit, I'll be shocked.
Wow. That's almost an ironclad guarantee that they won't come back. That Tom
I don't want to. I'm not
deal.
rooting for it one way or the other.
I understand that.
But at the same time, the offense has been their problem. So it's going to have to be mistakes by Goffstown that lead to that. I don't think South has the legs right now, and I don't think they've got the real sharp shooting scorer that Goffstown has to watch out for.
Can I go down to the locker room and tell them what's on the line for me?
I think so. Why not?
We are between the second and third period here at Conway Arena. John Collins with Tom King. It's the championship game of the Conway Arena 5th Annual Holiday Hockey Tournament. The score, Goffstown 3, the Panthers nothing.
Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you. I'm scared.
I don't think I can go back to school tomorrow. There's a guy and some of his friends who are after me.
They hate my clothes, the way I talk, everything about me.
I know. You're stupid and ugly.
Did you hear me? I'm scared.
Listen to what they have to say. Take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now.
Welcome back to third period action in the championship game of the 5th Annual Conway Arena Hockey Tournament. John Collins with Tom King, who made a bold prediction. No, actually, based on what's gone on, it's
based on
pretty
what's
much
going on. I think
realistic.
South is going to it's Goffstown's game to lose. Let's put it that way.
3-0. The Grizzlies are ahead.
They're going to have to give it up to South if they're going to lose this game.
And the game is not as close as the score indicates, which is to say 3-0, which is saying something. Let's see if Nashua can avoid a shutout first of all, as their first line takes
that I think they can do because
really?
I think Goff's going to get a little tired in this period.
Kyriakakos wins the draw and shoots it down into the Grizzlies zone. Lexi Ossinger with a forecheck breaks up the puck carrier, Brian Bork, and throws it behind the Grizzlies cage. Zarnowski throws it back, and he's got Bork. For a change, the Grizzlies having a little bit of trouble.
You'll know in the first few minutes of this period.
Kyriakakos, nice break up there.
See a turnover there. You'll know right away.
And they call Nashua for the offside. Kyriakakos just had a stride shy of the blue line.
You'll know if the Grizzlies are into this and want to put this game away, just even by puck possession, or whether or not they're just going to, basically think they can skate. If they think they can skate their way and slowly skate their way out of, to a victory, they're wrong. Because South, again, as Beliveau said, they don't quit. And you saw that with the tenacious forecheck put on by O'Connell in his line.
And here's Mike O'Connell right here.
But O'Connell can't win it by himself. That one line cannot win a hockey game.
Grizzlies with their first chance of the third period. A shot on goal and a shoulder into the goaltender, Cameron Ansel.
And that's the thing.
That's something you might want to call.
That's the thing is Goffstown puts the pressure on. And
I think he did call it, Tom.
And they show, they did. And they show that they're going to try to be aggressive. And
interference with the goaltender.
Right. And unfortunately for Goffstown, that draw, they get a little over-aggressive and draw the penalty.
Somewhat like running into the kicker there.
Yeah, Robert Horn got the shoulder in on Ansel. Ansel's a big guy, So they probably figure they want to get a little physical with him, rough him up a little bit, and now the Panthers come right back and they have their third power play of the game.
Best case scenario for the Panthers, they go on the power play less than a minute into the third period, trailing 3-0, trying to get on the board. Mike O'Connell wins the draw to Ossinger, but has it taken away, and it's around the boards and out. And first down to get it. No, it's Cameron Ansel out of the cage wisely. He's going to shoot it around to get it away from the Grizzly forechecker. Mike O'Connell, Kiriakakis leave it there, and O'Connell's attempt to throw it behind the cage, he almost scores on his own goal. Puck hits the side of the net, and a short-handed try for the Grizzlies, killing all kinds of time now. In front, a chance, shot over the net, somehow missing the open top shelf. Connor House-Myers.
I thought House-Myers should have just let that one fly. Instead, he decided to skate it in on Ansel, and he basically ran out of room.
A knuckler in on the goaltender, Steve Guerin's first look at the puck today. He came in late in the second period, spelling Cam Myatt in goal for the Grizzlies, and he sees his first shot of the evening. 3-0. 1:09 to go, and the penalty for obstruction of the goaltender on Robert Horn in the box for the Grizzlies. Power play for the Panthers. They can't keep it in the zone. Back to get it goes Matt D'Angelo, being pursued there by Mason Blauen. Winding up in front of us, Zach Catarino down the right boards, throws it toward the center of the net. Riley Palmer, number 6 for the Grizzlies, corrals it and fires it off the boards out of the zone. Catarino shovels it forward into the zone. There's Travis Merritt with some help from Ethan Winkler. First to it, however, Brad York throws it around the boards and out for the Grizzlies.
Goffstown not showing many signs of fatigue, though, John.
No. 30 seconds to go in the power play for the Panthers, trailing 3-0. 12:30 to go in the hockey game.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think we've noticed in this game, that when South has had the man advantage, they haven't been able to really put sustained pressure and get a good power play going.
Look out for Palmer. He can move fast. He can shoot fast. Throws it across. He's got no teammate to help him, of course, on the man disadvantage. And Palmer somehow ends up with it. And he's
what a
go
great penalty kill by Palmer. Look at that.
Wow.
Skating all the way down.
I think he should have kept going.
I think he should have kept going. Why not?
Instead, he throws it up in the audience. I think he got tired.
Well,
he just shrugged to his bench. I got tired.
But the penalty ran out. He had notice of the clock. The penalty just ran out.
I mean, those old Bobby Orr highlight films, he would just kept going.
Kept going, I know it.
As strong a skater as he is, he seems to use less energy, too, with those strides than most people. Generate a lot of speed. Nashua wins the draw too firmly. Kiriakakis actually won it all the way back to his own zone. And first to get it, the Grizzlies.
And I'll tell you what would happen if Goffstown pulls this tournament win off.
Even strength, Tom.
Today, you will have seen, if Goffstown wins, 2 Division II teams beat 2 Division I teams. Because North lost to Alvin 5-3 in the consolation round.
Right. It shows you what a core of good hockey players can do. A small core. And I say small, I mean like 10 or 12 here for Goffstown. Yep. Breaking down the left wing is Gordon. Talked to his grandfather between periods. His proud grandfather. Shot over the net by Gordon. Comes all the way out to Andrew Tuck at the far point. He throws it in on net. Save made by Ansel. Andrew Gordon, number 21 for Goffstown, is a baseball and hockey player, Tom, but he doesn't expect to play either in college. according to his grandfather. A lot of these guys, they invest so much time, you know, Nashua and Goffstown, into getting this good, but not all of them go on to play college hockey, as you know.
Well, college hockey right now, don't forget, it's limited because, I mean, there are club teams in college, a lot of colleges.
Right, you can see he's playing intramurals.
Right, yeah. Well, it's not intramurals, it's intercollegiate club hockey.
Different.
It's you know, Danny Webster plays it. It's a good level of hockey.
So you can still enjoy it.
Right. Yeah,
Puck
instead
goes
of practicing
by the
every
goal.
day, they practice maybe 3 times a week, and there's some, you know, there's a little bit of recruiting that goes on and try to get some players in and things like that.
11-11. If I forget to say it, Happy New Year to everybody. It's our last broadcast before we turn 2010.
Right. What a 2009 it was here on Nashua's ETV for sports broadcasting.
Yeah. Wow. Did a lot of games.
Sure
it's been
did.
a joy to do. Grizzlies keeping it in the zone, but this time there's a whistle. Apparently it was an offside. That's a rule that the officials go by. I think if it's offside and you're handling the puck, they blow the whistle. If you're offside and the other team, the defensive team, has the puck, they usually let it go.
Let it go, it's delayed.
So it doesn't slow the game down as much as in the past. The old days used to call it automatically.
All the time.
There's a skirmish just inside the Nashua blue line.
But you know what? All these little skirmishes, all they do is just tick the clock down.
Right. They work against the Panthers.
Right.
Peter Gill, the big body over there, number 24 for Nashua.
Gill is a big body, boy. I'll tell you, I'd love to see him get a little bit more ferocious. Maybe, you know, even maybe end up in the box a couple more times. Not in this game, but I mean,
yeah,
just for his team to you know, just set an example that he's, you know, they're not going to get pushed around. He is a big guy, and he does a great job of taking a hit and bouncing right off it.
They work it out. This is Travis Merritt trying to get something going. Poke check, though, made by Zarnowski.
Merritt, not much help. Nobody on the wing.
Ryan DeSantis, number 19, works it ahead to Mason Blauen. Draw pass intended for Palmer, broken up by Kyriakakos. And Peter Gill now has it. Throws it behind him, so nobody in particular. Zarnowski pounces on it and shoots it just to the left of Ansel. Screen shot ends up at the goaltender's goal mouth, and he pounces on it to freeze play. 9:40 to go in the hockey game. Still 3-0. Same score we entered the third period.
Yeah, that puck deflected off Kyriakakos. Slowly.
Yeah.
Ever so slowly.
This has the looks of NHL triple overtime.
Yeah, it's player.
Yeah,
well,
it's just slowed down.
We thought the third period would be like that.
Right.
These teams have got to be tired.
And they played a lot of hockey in this 4-day tournament. Patrick Naughton, nicknamed Naughty, breaks down the
Didn't look tired there, though, John. I'll tell you,
know
nice rush.
I think there's more joy in scoring goals, and people get extra wind when they play offense. And it's been all offense for the Grizzlies in this game. Takes more energy, I think, to play defense. Shot, save, rebound, score. The initial shot was by Brian Bork. The score was by, I believe, Andrew Gordon.
It was Gordon. Number 21, Andrew Gordon.
And so it's the fourth goal of the game for the Grizzlies. They take a commanding lead here in the third period. 8:58 to go in the game. In the championship game of the Conway Arena Hockey Tournament. Goffstown, defending tournament champions, look to be repeat champions.
Yeah, they sure look it.
Off to the races there, just offside on the left wing was Connor House-Myers. Naughton gets credit for the goal, Tom.
Naughton gets credit for it. Gordon was the one who was right in front.
Must have went off of Naughton. It must have somehow.
I don't see that.
I saw them congratulating Naughton, and Gordon kind of circled around the net, but I thought he was the one that put the one-timer behind Ansel. Maybe a question to pose to the official scorer.
Well, Bork had the original shot.
Right. Shot save. Well done there by Cameron Ansel. Robert Horn got off good wood on that puck. Ansel with the save.
That's a surprise.
I heard the Goffstown fans yell, "Nice play, Naughty," after the goal, so
yep,
I might
must have
seen it wrong.
Must have been, yeah, it must have.
Palmer gets a shot away from the face-off circle.
What? Love to see a replay.
Yeah. Andrewchuk chops at it. Grizzlies consistently beating the Panthers to the puck here in this final game. Matt D'Angelo, number 12 for Nashua's over there, along with Eric Hurst. And number 25, Neil McNulty in the game for the Panthers. Hurst can't get a hold of it. Catarino gets checked. Palmer with it. Shot, save. Ansel, beauty.
Right.
Left knee.
Much more agile.
Save again, Ansel.
Much more agile and in the game than he was when he first came into the hockey game, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's awfully tough
he's
to come
in it.
cold.
He's in tune with the pace now.
Yeah, right.
And see the puck well. Eric Hurst gets knocked to the ice. Now a Goffstown player pays the price and gets checked down. People haven't stopped getting physical. Hurst hands out another piece of punishment to Mason Blauen just before his shift change.
Blauen's 2 hits that Blauen took because he was the one who got
in
the corner.
He must feel like he has a target on the back of that number 16.
You just don't want to see things get, once 2 teams get tired, they get a little chippy.
Yeah,
you don't want things,
it's almost like they forget about scoring.
Yeah, right. You don't want things to get too chippy. They start taking the body a little bit more. And
bouncing puck. Naughton, number 4, near it. By the post, he's ridden off by Peter Gill.
Ansel trusted his defenseman there, maybe a little bit too much to get the puck away, where he could have just poked it to the boards if he could have gotten his stick on it.
An injury to a Goffstown player, Tom. If he can pick up that number as he gets off the ice, the puck is meanwhile down the far end of the rink. Gordon with it.
Looks like it's Bork.
Naughton
like
with
Brian
it, shoots wide of the net.
Andrew
Gordon just assisted in the last goal.
You don't want to lose a player
in this situation.
As much as you want to win this tournament, and it's a game that matters to you because it's a tournament championship game, it doesn't count in your Division II standings.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to lose a player like Bork for the games that really count.
Yeah. Hopefully that's just a stinger off the ankle or something that's he can bounce back from. But you're right, you don't want to lose. You're ahead 4-0 as it is. Key player like that, probably maybe that's the last we'll see of him with 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Behind his own net goes Dylan Johnson for the Panthers. Bit of a dangerous cross-ice pass there, but the Panthers do get it out. Lexi Ostringer slips by the defender down the right boards with some extra speed. Still has it, pursuing it around the boards, checked off the puck by Robert Horn. It's loose in center. The Grizzlies get it. Down they go. Connor House-Myers tries to find his teammate. He does. Cutting in front of the net and a score.
Clinic.
Robert Horn from Connor House-Myers for the 5th goal of the game for the Goffstown Grizzlies. A commanding 5-0 lead. With an assist from the fan behind us who yelled, "You got help."
Whoa. Boy,
because he did have help.
Yep.
Connor House-Myers finding Robert Horn, who just cut in front of the goaltender, and Ansel really had no chance. Palmer lets it go, just misses that upper right corner with that blast.
And I think the amazing thing is that Goffstown has had the energy to do what they've done for 3 periods.
I just think it's a lot easier to have energy and to be into
offensive
the game.
minded.
You know, it's a shooting gallery for you.
Right.
And it's work for the defense. Look at Palmer, he's hungry for more.
Look at this.
Tip play, not able to corral it was Ryan DeSantis, but another great try generated by Palmer's hustle.
Uh-oh.
In front, point blank, Mason Blauen. Great save by Cameron Ansel. Terrific job by the goaltender. Screen shot deflected off and Gill goes wide. Blauen with it.
8 saves already in this period.
To Andrewchuk. Andrewchuk goes with a quick shot, deflects off of Christian Flavin wide of the goal.
And no, this is not a power play.
Gill, who is exhausted, throws the puck around the
boards. Is he ever? Look at him.
Blauen has it.
Very tired.
One-timer by Palmer's on net. Not great wood, but great direction. Another save by Cameron Ansel and goal for the Nashua Panthers. Loose puck. Blauen has it go through his skates. Pursued there by James Holleran. Whistle.
We get a penalty.
Could be an elbow for Holleran. I think the referees sense it could be getting chippy, and they want to start calling it tighter. It's not against Holleran. It's against Caterino, and I'm not sure what the infraction is. Maybe it was an elbow.
Now, once you saw a Goffstown player go down, you heard the whistle.
4:35 to go in the game. John Collins with Tom King. Mike Janes on camera. Jim McLean on camera. Pete Johnson, our executive producer. A pop-up in the middle. Collision, and Nashua South comes away with it. Mike O'Connell has it. Lexi Ossinger bats it forward. Those are two names that we'd said a lot less tonight, O'Connell and Ossinger.
We did in the semifinals, you're right.
They were all over the place in the semifinal. Gill throws it up the left boards. Keeping it in is Andrechuk. Just lofts it toward the goal. A knuckler. Ansel pounces on it just as a couple of Grizzlies pounce on the goal mouth, and they get pushed away by the Panthers' Peter Gill and Frankie Guarino. 4:06. This is valuable conditioning, if nothing else, right now for Nashua.
Well, so a few of these teams have to come back in a couple of days and start their regular seasons again. So you wonder who's going to have enough left in the tank. We're only talking a couple of days away, right after the holiday.
No heavy celebrating on New Year's Eve for these teams.
No.
Connor House-Myers, I believe, number 13, shot that one, deflected over the glass, and it'll be a face-off just outside the Panthers' blue line.
3:55 to play, 5-0 in favor of Goffstown, as they are going to take their second consecutive Conway Arena High School Hockey Tournament Championship.
Palmer down there.
And I think that these are the only 2 years they've played in the tournament, too. I'm fairly certain these are the only 2 years they've come to play.
It's a pretty good rating, and that could be called. O'Connell buries Nick Casares, and no call on that one. Deflected over the goal. O'Connell again. I think Brian Yost had seen O'Connell's work, and he was just forgot about the puck there, and he just turned around and he wanted to know where Mike O'Connell was.
O'Connell was, exactly. See if I can get a body on him.
Yeah. 3:10 to go in the hockey game. You know, the only thing that could have been questionable about O'Connell's hit, and now O'Connell again pushing Casares.
Yep.
Only thing questionable about it was the distance that Casares was from the boards.
And O'Connell's going in the box.
He is going in the box.
Yep. Or is he? No, evidently not.
He's
gone. He's going out.
5 minutes.
Yep.
That's a game misconduct, I guess, or a double minor.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait for the call.
And he doesn't look happy.
You know, so that just shows you the intensity was there, Tom. The legs weren't.
Looked that way. I mean, I don't know if the intensity was even there for Nashua in this game. I mean, they came out a little flat, and Goffstown really took it to them right away.
At the very beginning, when they should have had some legs.
Right,
You're right. Yeah.
You know, I don't think the intensity was there for Nashua. For South. I don't think it was. That's
O'Connell, I guess.
And that's just the way it is.
Score deflected. I think that's going to go to Andrechuk. I believe the deflection was on a Nashua stick.
Stick or glove. I know. Yep.
So it'll go to the defenseman, possibly on an assist from the faceoff. But Josh Andrechuk, the senior defenseman, will get credit with the 6th goal of the game. And I did say off air, so I can't really take credit, but we were talking about the bet about coming back from 3-0, and I said maybe it's more likely it'll be 6-0, and here we are.
You did
Instead of 3-3,
that.
it might more likely to be 6-0, 3 goals for the other team, and that's what's happened. Unfortunately for Nashua.
Unfortunately for South, because they played a good tournament. You know, they tied St. Peter Marion, and they had a great, thrilling win over Alvern that could really have catapulted them. And today, it's just the opposite.
Relentlessly, Goffstown looking for more. 6-0. First down the ice, Eric Hurst for Nashua. Try to forecheck and create something here. And he does. Hurst gets his stick on it.
Brad York got an assist on that.
And see, that's just the kind of back-checking and forechecking they didn't have the legs to do today.
Nope.
Hurst right there showed that he could break up a play by getting back and getting involved in it. It's just skating. And the Goffstown Grizzlies out-skated Nashua from the get-go in this one. poking at the puck behind the net is number 12, D'Angelo, but Naughton comes out with it for Grizzlies and sets up the Grizzlies for another scoring chance here with 1:56 to go. Cross ice pass, nicely done. Gordon shot, and somehow a save and then a score. And it appeared on the rebound to be number 4, Patrick Naughton, I believe, with the goal. Another goal credited to Naughton.
With these two scores, John, when they get a 6-0 game, it's running time.
Okay.
So this game will
Right,
end.
it is running right now.
It's running right now. The clock is running.
7-0 is the score.
Oh, wow. This game just went downhill fast for Nashua. It's a shame.
Yeah. Especially the way they played in the semifinal to pull out that win against Elvin.
Yep.
Gordon, who's had a terrific game, gets another assist. Up ahead to Zarnowski. He's going to just flip it in. 50 seconds to go in the hockey game. Palmer's right down there to get it, and he set up Connor House-Myers nicely. One more stride, and he might have backhanded that one up into the cage. Nashua can't get it out. Zarnowski with it. 41 seconds.
We hope to
Wide
talk
shot.
We hope to talk to Paul Roy after this game as he's coming off the ice.
Head coach
of Goffstown.
Whistle before the puck was frozen. We might have another penalty call here. Now they just wanted to stop that skirmishing before it got a little bit too violent here. With running time, 20 seconds, it's probably going to be it. Probably won't be any face-off at all here. And the Goffstown fans give their team a well-deserved round of applause, it appears. They're just going to let it go. John Collins with Tom King. You've been watching the Conway Arena Holiday Hockey Tournament, the 5th annual, and for the 2nd year in a row, the Goffstown Grizzlies take it.
Yep, had more legs, more tenacity, and took control of this hockey game and never relinquished it. A good job by Goffstown. Tough day for South. They're going to have to regroup to start their regular season again and get back into regular season play against Nashua North. John, a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure with
I'll
you,
go
Tom.
down and talk to
let's see
Mr.
if
Roy.
you can get Mr. Roy. I'm sure he'd be glad to talk about his team, who were just terrific in this tournament, as we have the handshake line at center ice, a great hockey tradition. So the Goffstown Grizzlies have got to like Nashua's cooking, because they have come here 2 years in a row and taken the tournament that did involve Nashua High School South and Nashua High School North as the co-hosts. Alvern High School with a very strong showing this year. They were just seconds away from going into overtime when Nashua South's Lexi Ossinger chopped a game-winning goal over the shoulder of Alvern's goaltender for the win. A surprising win for South. The resilience that they showed in the semifinal might have cost them here in the final. They just ran out of gas against a very talented Goffstown team. There's an awarding of the trophies here at center ice for the Grizzlies. And we will try to go to a post-game interview. John Collins for Tom King and Mike Janes, Jim McLean on the cameras, executive producer Pete Johnson. You've been watching Nashua's ETV broadcast of the championship game. The Grizzlies take it 7-0.
We're here with Paul Roy, the head coach at Goffstown High School. And Paul, one thing that impressed me about this 7-0 win for the school's second straight Conway Arena Holiday Hockey Tournament was the fact that you guys had your legs for 3 periods, because you had played the day before just like South, and you went into overtime.
Yeah, we really did. I was surprised, to be honest. I didn't know what kind of effort we got, but we got a full team effort, and everybody had a good game right from beginning to end.
And the way you were, right, exactly, beginning to end, the pressure that you put on, I thought was pretty incredible, and the way that you were able to sustain it the whole way through.
Yeah, we have a lot of upperclassmen kids, and it's really been a good group. This is my first year with this team, but been a bunch of hard workers, and right from the goaltending out, we've had a good team effort so far.
What impressed you the most about this tournament? You've had to play 3 tough games and go walk the gauntlet and beat 2 Division I teams to get here and win the championship.
Well, that's why we come here, because we know we're going to play some Division I teams, and kids like to play up all the time, so it makes it good competition.
And that's the thing, is now you go into Division II play, and you've got to be looking at it and saying, hey, you know what? We're a team that probably could be reckoned with in Division II.
That's a challenge, but there are some good Division II teams. We got a tough schedule coming up, and we got some tough games coming up. So.
All right, Paul Roy, head coach at Goffstown High School. Congratulations, second straight Conway Arena High School hockey tournament. Going to try to make it a third next year?
Absolutely, we'll be back.
All right, great.
All right, thank you.
We'll look for you then.
All right, thanks.
Back upstairs to John Collins.
Nice job, Tom. That's Tom King talking to Paul Roy, who's deservedly proud head coach of the Goffstown Grizzlies. We had a great time bringing you the 5th annual Conway Arena Holiday Hockey Tournament here on Nashua ZTV. The final score for the final time, the Grizzlies of Goffstown repeat as tournament champions 7-0 over the Nashua South Panthers. Stay with us all season long for more exciting Nashua High School hockey here on Nashua's ETV.